can never make my roots have volume, and the top of my head just always ends up really flat. I thought it could be fun today to film a cheeky little different kind of video. It does kind of relate to my TBR once again, because I'm never gonna stop making TBR content. Hello. A little reaction video to the lowest rated books on my TBR, the highest rated books on my TBR. Yeah, I just thought it could be a fun little like react to my Goodreads, but also let's chat about some books, let's reignite some passion, let's maybe get some older books that I've forgotten about back on my radar, and also see what incredible, very highly rated books that I have been missing out on. So I think I'm gonna browse at Goodreads on my phone. She's plugged in, she's ready to go. Trust her battery does not last very long. Let me know if you've read any of the books that we talk about, and I would love to know if you recommend them or if you love them, even if you maybe didn't love them as much. I don't know. I want to talk about some books. This is my Goodreads profile. Beautiful, lovely, hello. Currently reading 5 books. Let's do a little recap of my Goodreads. Currently reading the book of Azrael. That's coming in a reading vlog. Haven't read anything else this month because this one's being such a slog to get through, but there'll be more of that in that reading vlog that I just mentioned. Also reading 101 essays that will change the way you think. I got like 15 chapters in and I've stopped reading it. It's here, but it just kind of repeated the same kind of advice in every chapter, so I gave up a little bit. But then we have Leave Me Behind, The Kingmaker, and Bourbon and Lies. These are all books that I'm about 50% of the way into and have like just not kept reading them. I've not necessarily officially DNF'd them, I just haven't kept reading them, I guess. Okay, let's go highly rated first because I want to start this video off with some positivity. Obviously Tempest by Victoria Aveyard hasn't released. Obviously I want to read it. As soon as I heard about it, I went to Goodreads and added it to my want to read because are you kidding me? An adult fantasy pirate romance written by the Queen herself. Now trust, I haven't read anything by Victoria. So that is a very baseless statement to call her a queen. I just love her personality. I've been listening to her podcast, Plot Twist, on Spotify and YouTube, I think. And it's been really cool, like, listening to their experience in the publishing world and listening to Victoria kind of drop some hints about Tempest. Okay, and then we have Some Kind of Perfect by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I haven't read any further than Addicted to You. I read a little bit of Ricochet and just, like, didn't really continue the series. I enjoyed it. I liked the way it was written and they were interesting characters. I just haven't continued the series, I guess. Then we have Death's Kiss. I don't know what this book is. There's a lot of books on here that I go like on deep dives on Book Talk and like sleuthing through Goodreads looking for random books that like are gonna fit my niche, and then I just forget about them. So I think this is one of them. The Tide Raiders. That sounds like pirates. Dive into the cruel and unforgiving world of Cardinal North Order of the Tide Raiders, an M.M. Reeves debut novel. What are people saying? People are really enjoying it. 20-year-old Marina Boreas, definitely butchered that, has had to fight her way tooth and nail just to survive the last 7 years of hellish instruction provided by the Cardinal North and has earned herself the esteemed title of captain. This is giving like pirate college motorcycle club vibes. But this year is no normal year. This year the legendary Vault has unexpectedly arisen, offering a chance to catch the eye of a Tide Lord and secure her and her crew's future careers. This book does sound interesting, to be fair. It's giving me a little bit of The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, where there's like I guess Rain is kind of the outcast in that though, but like there's this really high-powered man love interest and he's gonna like potentially take her under his wing. At least that's what it's kind of sounding like might happen. This is an interesting sounding book. Then we have Kingdom of Embers and Ruin by N.E. Valor with a 4.55 average star rating. This one I know for a fact is Vikings because I was coming off a high of A Faint in Blood and I was like, I need something identical to this. So this one having really good star ratings is a good sign. A continent divided, rival kingdoms on the brink of war, fates intertwined. There's talk of Valkyries, which I'm gonna lose my mind if we get Valkyries. Follow Maud and Herrick as they reluctantly work together to free Arland from crooked rulers and restrictions that have the gods restless enough to begin pulling on the strings of fate, altering their lives as they know it. So it sounds like there's going to be a lot more involvement of the gods and actual mythology in this book than there was in A Faint in Blood. That's just the only Viking book I've read, so that's my basis. Tell me that doesn't sound incredible. The cover is also sick, let me just say. I would love to have that on my bookshelf. But again, I think the paperback is like $50. Next we have The Burning Queen by Aparna Verma. Whoa, Shield of Sparrows is high. With 120,000 rating, that bodes very well for me. But The Burning Queen by Aparna Verma? Not yet published. Okay, that explains why it's so highly rated. It's only got 11 reviews. Oh, it's a sequel? Let me look at the first book. The Phoenix King. Let's have a look. Let's try that again. Oh, Desert Kingdom. Desperate for power and an assassin with a dark secret. Action-packed debut of fire magic and ancient prophecy from a stunning new voice in fantasy. She's the heir to the throne and the only Ravens who cannot wield her family's legendary magic. As her coronation approaches, she will do whatever it takes to prove herself a worthy successor to her revered father. But she doesn't anticipate the arrival of Yasin Knight, the notorious assassin who now claims fealty to the throne. Eleanor's father might trust Yasin to be a member of her royal guard, but she is certain he is hiding something. Okay, fun. What's this one rated? 3.67. So this one's probably amongst the lowest rated on my TBR. Next up, Shield of Sparrows. 4.45 stars with 120,000 ratings. That bodes so well for me. I've been anticipating this book and I'm not going to mention it too much again because I swear I've spoken at length about it in my last like 4 videos. But I'm anticipating this book so much because you say The Witcher and you say Cinderella and you say they meet. Then we have 2 books from Emma Jones's Elite Kings Club series. I stopped reading it at like the 3rd book, I think, for no particular reason. I don't think it was just a very dark series, and Emma Jones, I believe she's more of a discovery writer and she just kind of lets it happen the way that it comes out. She really takes you on a wild ride. They're just a little bit tricky to read sometimes, so I stopped at the 3rd one. Then we have The Sword of Kaigan. I don't know how many. Oh, we need to take that one off. No. Nuh-uh. We do not support Tilly Cole in this household. Where were we? The Sword of Kaigan. I've been seeing this one everywhere as well, and I'm a little bit scared of it. It's a little bit intimidating because I believe it's more of a high fantasy and a story about her mother and dealing with a son struggling to grasp his violent future and a father blind to the danger that threatens them all. I always need to be in a specific kind of mood to read books that aren't romance heavy or that don't have a romance subplot. So when the winds of war reach their peninsula, will the Matsuda family have the strength to defend their empire, or will they tear each other apart before the true enemies even reach their shores? 14-year-old Mamoru has always known his purpose, to master his family's fighting techniques and defend his homeland. But when an outsider arrives and pulls back the curtain on Kaigan's alleged ace of peace, Mamoru realizes that he might not have much time to become the fighter he was bred to be. Worse, the empire he was bred to defend may stand on a foundation of lies. Misaki told herself that she left the passions of her youth behind when she married into the Matsuda house. Determined to be a good housewife and mother, she hid away her sword along with everything from her days as a fighter in a faraway country. But with her growing son asking questions about the outside world, the threat of an impending invasion looming across the sea, and her frigid husband grating on her nerves, Misaki finds the fighter in her clawing its way back to the surface. Guys, I take back everything I said. That sounds incredible. That sounds so cool. Like, Miss Girl laid down her sword in order to have a family and follow traditional housewife values, but now she's getting the opportunity to potentially pick it back up and like fight alongside her son maybe. This one is well and truly on my radar now. Last few, we'll speed run these ones and then we'll go to the worst rated. We have A House of Earth and Blood. I don't think I'll ever read this book. I read Akata and Akamath. They were fine. I still think there are so many other fantasy books out there that I would much rather read at the moment, at least. I have Binding 13. I have the paperbacks. I don't necessarily support Chloe Walsh, but I bought the paperbacks before all of her controversies came up. I'll probably read them eventually. I know a lot of you guys want me to read them, and I will, I promise. I just probably won't read the books after the first 4 because I already have those in paperback. Then we have The Night in the Moth, which is what I got so excited about 2 minutes ago because this is another one that I'm highly anticipating. This one and Shield of Sparrows released at a similar time, and both of them are just like fighting for attention in my mind. So to see this one with a 4.38 average star rating with 66,000 ratings, that bodes extremely well for me. Then we just, oh my god, another Tilly Cole book. No, get off my channel. You can tell that I kind of was in a little bit of a dark motorcycle club romance era for a moment about 3 years ago before anyone realized that she was a little bit of a white supremacist. On that note, let's reverse the average star rating and look at some of the lowest rated books. I will be going through and clearing out the egregiously problematic authors off my want to read list because okay, okay, this is interesting. So these, I believe, are all, or these top 4 at least, are all sports romances. Cross-Checked Hearts by Callie Mel. I'm pretty sure it's a hockey romance. The Wincott Wolves with a 3.32 average star rating. Ooh, That's pretty low. I haven't read anything by Callie, and I'm like really apprehensive about talking about these lowest rated books because I don't want to shit on authors. I don't, especially when I've not read the books. I'm like, is it even a good idea to like react to these? I don't know. But this one is a hockey romance that I was interested in reading. It's, I believe, best friend's brother or brother's best friend, which is why I was like, our friendship turned into stolen kisses and forbidden touches, but we agreed it could never be anything more. Not when her brother was my best friend. Leaving Clifton Falls meant leaving the past behind too. Hockey is my life now, more so than before, and Isla is a distraction. But what happens when the lines begin to blur and she becomes the only thing I can see? Isla, Logan Knight, star hockey player, my brother's best friend, and the first boy I ever loved. But we could never be more than friends. He broke my heart when he left for college, and now, 2 years later, he's back in my life and my new roommate. This is giving Weak Side by SJ Silvers with the whole like roommate mix up. Old feelings resurface and our friendship is put to the test. I've tried to resist him as long as I could, but Logan has a way of knocking down every wall I built around my heart. It's only a matter of time before our secret comes to light, and when it finally does, will Logan be the one to protect my heart? Ooh. Interesting. I might still like be interested in reading it one day because I do love a brother's best friend romance, just the angst, and if it's dual timelines, I'm gonna eat it up every time, I fear. Then we have The Enemy Trap by Mara Moore. I think this is another hockey romance, potentially a nanny moment. I'm kind of beyond my nanny, oh, fake fiance. I thought it was a nanny romance. Wait, does Mara Moore have a nanny romance? I swear she does. Anyway, fake fiance, simple, right? It could be if my betrothed were anyone else, but it turns out America's sweetheart is arrogant, selfish, and a guy. I have no intentions of letting... And a guy that I have no intentions of letting break my heart. Hello, there's actually some punctuation not there that I was putting in. This is just giving the Wall of Winnipeg in me, but maybe not quite as good. It was never supposed to happen, but then one night changes everything. Okay, not... well, baby daddy. Oh. Fake fiance, but my very real baby daddy. How can two people who hate each other pull off the lie of a lifetime while figuring out how to raise a child together? Everything between us was supposed to be fake, but I'm not pretending anymore. Alright, kind of fun. I feel like this one blew up on Bookstagram around the time that I was getting into reading, which is probably why it's here, but it doesn't sound the worst. I'm not the biggest fan of fake dating anymore, and I'm also not the biggest fan of children in books. So I probably honestly won't read this one. Maybe I'd take it off my bookshelves right now. I'm not that interested in it, I'm not gonna lie. Next up we have, oh, interesting. Okay, we have two Lauren Jackson books. Lauren Jackson is an Australian author. I actually was lucky enough to be one of the people that received the ARC for Meant to Be. I never finished the book. I got like a little bit of the ways into it, and it was interesting. It was kind of like a childhood friends, small town. He was, I think, returning. They had a bit of a murky and angsty past, and he was kind of coming back into the town and like reigniting all of these feelings and this kind of animosity. It was interesting, and it was written like decently well, so that's fascinating that that's down there. I suppose everyone does have their own like reading tastes. Writing style is like a diary. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't get that far into it. Then we have Break the Rules by Lauren Jackson, which is interesting again because I think this one is actually a rugby league romance, which is the sport that I kind of follow the most here in Australia. There's two sports that I follow. There's rugby league, go the Newcastle Knights, and then I also follow the AIHL, the Australian Ice Hockey League, go the North Stars. And I think this is like one of the first kind of mainstream rugby league books. Like I know there's a few floating around. Is there even actually? It's mostly rugby union floating around. So to see some rugby league breaking out is kind of cool. But I want to see what people are saying about it. Oh, it was supposed to be an NRL romance, but it was lies. So was there just not like a lot of rugby content? Brother's Best Friend, absolutely. I'm interested to see, I guess, how it was written, because a lot of the like hockey romances that are set in America are set as college hockey romances, but sport and university, it is tied here in Australia, but a lot less so. Like you can play for an independent club outside of university, or you can play for the university team. Oh, okay, we've got like a trope list. College football romance, I still don't understand. I guess it's probably set up like an American college romance, right? Close Proximity, Second Chance, Brother's Best Friend, Dual POV, Australian setting. Let's move on. But I'm interested because it's a sport that I follow that not a lot of people know or write about. Promises and Pomegranates by Sav R. Miller. I don't know why this one is here. Actually, I do. It was a very big kind of like a dark romance mafia-esque setting. I don't think I'm ever really gonna go back to read it. The fact that it's rated this low is a little bit surprising, but also I feel like dark romance has to toe a very fine line line between being cringy and kind of pushing the limits too far to the fact that to the point where it's like, well, this isn't realistic. You guys are just silly, running around with guns, silly. There's a very fine line between it going to that and being cringy and being able to be taken seriously, which I think is why I struggle so much with dark romance now, where so there's a select few that I'm like, I can suspend my beliefs enough and believe that this could be happening, but most of them these days are just like, big bad mafia man, marry me, I will protect you, I will conduct business while you stay at home and do nothing. Yeah, I don't know, dark romance, very, very fine line, and I think this one potentially tiptoed over into the cringe. Wait. He fucked her mom? What do you mean? He fucked her mom? I'm gonna leave it on my TBR, but I'm not necessarily like dying to read it, I don't think. Then we have Bad Girl Reputation by Elle Kennedy. What was the first one? Good Girl Complex. I'm not reading this. I don't know, I've kind of just gone off Elle Kennedy a little bit. If it's not a hockey romance from her, then I'm not really interested. Then we have My Best Friend's Sister by cutie Tyler. I'm assuming another brother's best friend. Jackson Walsh. Women are easily accessible to him as the yellow I thought he was going to be a yellow taxi cab driver for a second. I didn't read that correctly. For Jackson Walsh, women are as easily accessible to him as the yellow taxi cabs outside of his New York penthouse. His days are filled with growing his thriving business and his I don't care. I don't like big businessmen with pots of money where the only thing they care about is their business and women. I don't like that in my books. Like, that is too close to reality for me. I don't want it in my books. Preached by Sierra Simone. I have this one on my bookshelf. I'm, I guess, still a little bit interested in reading it. It's probably one that I'm gonna like, if I ever do like another highest versus lowest reading vlog, or if I ever do like a themed reading vlog or something, it's probably gonna come up in one of those maybe. I don't think it's one that I will actively choose to sit down and read, but I'm not opposed to reading it, if that makes sense. I am a little bit interested to see how Sierra deals with the religious aspect in these books, because I went to a Christian school. Then we have Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. I don't think I'm ever gonna read another Tessa Bailey book in my life. I read it, happened one summer, it was fine. But I feel like Tessa is and people are gonna get astronomically mad at me for this. I feel like she's very in the same vein as Ali Hazelwood, where it's quite millennial coded, very millennial cringe coded. And if I've got some millennials watching this video, I love you guys, I promise. All of my sisters are millennials and I love them. But it's just a very like galaxy leggings, and that's it. Her books just give me that kind of energy, and I don't think I'm gonna read another one from her. So we'll go ahead and take Fix Her Up off of my TBR. Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon. Oh, and Lucky Hit by Hannah Cohen. I forgot about these two books. I have the OG cover of Lucky Hit on my bookshelf down there. I have tried reading it. I think it might have been the writing style, and it was also just, actually I think it was mostly the writing style that I just didn't really mesh with. And then Weather Girl, I think this one's only here because it was popular for a while, but what I'm most gobsmacked about, whoa, I'm being validated actually, by First Down by Grace Riley being down here. I've tried reading First Down as well, same reason as Lucky Hit. I just didn't really mesh with it for the first few chapters, so I didn't keep reading it. Back to Bloodguard by Cece Robson with a 3.61 average star rating. I have that on my shelf. I was excited to read that when it came out. I'm less excited about it now because I haven't heard a lot about it, and I also didn't. It came out around the same time as Gladiator 2, and when I went to see Gladiator 2, I was like so prepared to fall into a Gladiator obsession and want to read that book. It's a Gladiator fantasy romance. I was so excited to fall into that obsession and read this book and like immerse myself in the world, but then Gladiator 2 just didn't hit for me, so I didn't end up reading Bloodguard after going to see it. And now I'm just kind of like, hey, maybe one day. And then we have Falcon's Prey by Sheila Murray. I have this one on my bookshelf as well. It's up here somewhere. I've read like, I want to say, my memory is telling me half. I don't think so. It was probably like a quarter. It felt like half. It took me a long time to read that quarter, and it just never really grabbed me. I'm like still open to going back and reading it because I think it was an okay premise. It was kind of like Bodyguard. Actually, I think it was a Bodyguard romance, but like a dark mafia kind of setting, which, as we've established, I'm not really reading a lot of at the moment. And Enchantment of Ravens. I think I added this one to my TBR because Livy Baker here on YouTube raved about it. I think it was this book. Raved about it and thought it was so good, so I chucked it on my TBR. I haven't really investigated it much more, but like, maybe one day. maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll read all of these books. Hey. Shameless by Maya Hughes. I read The Perfect First by her. Couldn't tell you. I remember she ate a hamburger, and that was all I remember. Oh, and there's The Phoenix King there it is. We've come full circle. Oh, there's another one I need to get rid of. What the hell? I genuinely need to actually sort out my want to read list. But we've circled back to the Phoenix thing, so we're gonna have a quick browse of the books that I have read and check out the highest versus lowest rating. We won't spend nearly quite as much time looking at this because I've been yapping for 47 minutes already. So we'll just spend a few little minutes just quickly looking at my recently read, all of the books I've ever read, I should say, and seeing which ones are highest rated and which ones are lowest rated and whether or not I agree. I need a drink of water before I freak out over this. I can see in my peripherals that it's loaded and I'm scared. Are we going lowest or highest first? I don't know. We're going highest first. We have Akamav, A Court of Mist and Fury, as book number 1 with an average rating of 6 stars. 4.64 stars, which I gave 4 stars. I think realistically I would probably give it a 3.5. I don't remember a lot of it, I'm not gonna lie. Took me 5 months to read, if that tells you anything. Fourth Wing, yeah, sure. Yeah, I did wait until November, and Iron Flame, didn't like it. Read 200 pages, still sitting on my TBR, haven't continued it. Heartstopper Volume 3, I respect that. Oh, and Volume 2, absolutely. I respect those two being up there. Yup. Oh, the Canary Girls. Jessie Hall has been cancelled. I don't support her anymore. I really, really don't. But The Canary Cards was a beautiful piece of work. I've been having this conversation a few times with bestie Claire recently about separating the art from the artist, and I keep saying that I think I'm a little too good at it, but I actually don't think I am. Now that Jessie Hall has been cancelled for racist stereotyping, I'm like, I'm not reading any more of her books. And I think she stood by it as well. Like, what the fuck? Just be a decent person. Like, I don't understand why that's so hard for some people to just be a good person and not like be a racist piece of shit or like not be a homophobic piece of shit. I don't understand. But The Canary Cowards, unfortunately, was a beautiful story, but the author is not a nice person, so I'm never reading another one of her books again, and I'm never going to recommend this book to anyone because I don't support Jessie Hall. Heartless by Elsie Silver. What is it? What's the little the little like cute claps? I don't know. Heartless by Elsie Silver, I absolutely agree. I gave it 5 stars. I love Kate and Willa so much. Quicksilver. The Simple World by K.A. Tucker, I think, is one of my simple pleasures in a book. I read it when I had COVID and I was isolating in my room. Being able to be transported to Alaska, and K.A. Tucker's writing in that book is so... It reads like women's fiction with like a romance subplot. It's so beautiful. Such a beautiful book, such a beautiful story. If you haven't read it, I would highly recommend. Let's reverse this thing. Let's have a look at the lowest average rated books that I have read and if I agree with them. Twisted Cravings! Actually, yeah. Out of the Kimura Chronicles and Boy and Blood series by Cora Riley, I do think Twisted Cravings was the worst. Twisted Hearts following closely behind. I liked Twisted Hearts, controversially. A lot of people don't because the main male character is a huge playboy, but it suits his character and he never was like shown to be anything else, so it was like, you know what you're expecting when you go into this book. Oh, The Doctor by Nikki Sloan. I do agree with this one being down here, and not for the reasons that most people would. This one caused me an immense amount of anxiety. It made me, if I say crash and burn, it made me have a really bad panic attack because it triggered something so specific. Freaked me out. Midnight Kisses. I loved Midnight Kisses by Janine Benedict. Both characters kind of annoying, kind of frustrating, but so like realistically flawed and such realistic characters that I loved them. Okay, we're gonna end it there, I think. Otherwise, I'm just gonna continue being a negative Nelly and continue being mad at racist authors. So we're gonna finish this video here. Let me know if you have any thoughts on some of the books that we discussed. I feel like this definitely did satisfy my craving for just wanting to talk crap about books and kind of do an off the cuff, let's look at some books, let's react to some books. I think it was kind of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am definitely gonna go and clean up my my want to read list a little bit because there's a lot of authors on there that I don't want on there anymore, quite frankly. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. If there's any books that I mentioned on my TBR that you want to see me read, let me know. I would love to bring that to you guys, love to enable you guys, love to enable myself actually. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.